Welcome to my review of episode 4, season 14 of Trainwreck at First Sight. You can go ahead and replace the married part and just add the Trainwreck because that's what we're getting again this season. It's just the same thing with different names, but this season it might be a little amped up even than last season. Let's start with Alyssa and Chris. Now, Alyssa, like I said last time, she's a handful. That's pretty much been established. But you can tell she can hardly even look at the guy. You can just see that he's not her type and she's looking for any way out. So she's calling him on everything. You know, she met with his family. She said that was weird. And he met with her family and told her family that she doesn't think that they're compatible. And her mom was like, I think you're great for her. And so she didn't like that. The couples go to Puerto Rico and he talks about, hey, you know, you can go shopping or we can do what you like or we can go look at tourist attractions. She's like, I'm not really up for that. He says, well, we can go shopping. And she's like, oh, I'll just stay on the beach. She's like, okay. Then she said he's being a yes man. I'm like, he's trying to accommodate you. I mean, the guy can't win. If he had said no to what you said, then you would have said, you know, he's not flexible. Then when he gives you options, you're saying he's being a yes man. You just can clearly see she's looking for a way out. You know, if you love the guy or just even like him, you're going to overlook things. If you don't like him, you're going to nitpick at everything. That's just what she's doing, nitpicking. She just looks very unhappy, and it's like she's taking it out on him, and she makes a big point to talk about looks and, you know, personality. You know, he said he thinks she's kind of giving up and she's not really trying. And he said, you're looking for somebody perfect. And once you saw that you didn't get someone perfect, you kind of tapped out. She says, no, I mean, what do you think? I'm lying? And he said, yeah. So, like I said, when you like somebody, you overlook things. When you don't like them, you nitpick at everything. Dude, well, you left the microwave door open, so, you know, I'm done. I'm filing divorce papers. And even he was saying later on that he's going to try to make it work. And she says, I take things real slow, you know, and he said he's willing to do that. Whatever she says, he's like down to try. So he's willing to take it slow. He gives her the benefit of the doubt. But it's like, you knew what the show's about. I say this all the time. You knew the show was you marrying a stranger. She says, I'm not comfortable spending the night in a room with someone I hardly know. Does that make any sense? You got on the show to marry a complete stranger. Now you sound shocked by the outcome. Like, I can't sleep with someone I hardly know. You just married someone you hardly know. Hello? So he's looking like mixed up, like, I don't get it. I mean, they're already on, this is what, day 1 or day 2 of the marriage. They're already talking about, or Chris is already talking about trying to make it work. If you got to make it work, that's like a football team battling itself on the sideline instead of the team on the field. The marriage is supposed to come together and you battle the outside forces. You don't have internal conflict, or what's the point of coming together? Should a football team, Chargers, should they battle on the sideline or should they battle the team on the field? Why try to make it work this quick? Chris was talking about he trusts the process. Only thing I see happening is divorce papers being processed, because this is just not, I don't think this is going to make it to decision day. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let's see, who else do we got? Let's deal with Noi and Steve. Now, it seemed like when Noi met with Steve's parents, kind of seemed like Steve's dad had a little haterade in him. I was like, is he trying to sabotage his own son? Like, what? He was telling Noi that his son is a vagabond and he likes to just travel in his car, and he was making it sound like he's lazy. I'm like, man, you sure you're his dad? I'm like, do you have to share everything? You could kind of, I guess, let her find out for herself and make her own assessment instead of trying to mess up the marriage before it even gets started. I'm like, wow, this is a strange situation. But knowing, she didn't seem too concerned the other week, but now she seems a little concerned because she wants to have children and she needs someone that she said is stable so she can have children. Even when Steve, that almost rhymed. Even when Steve, if I had said even with Steven, never mind. Anyway, when Steve met with Noy's people, they were talking about children, and Noy's friend told Steve, well, you have to have a job before you have a child. So I guess he was like, thank you, Captain Obvious. I didn't know that. Thanks for being all up in my business. But Noy was saying that she can't really read Steve. I guess she likes him and all, and he likes her. She told him that she was happy they were matched when they were on the balcony. That was a nice view of Puerto Rico, and she was scared of heights, and he's like, I got you. He's real tall, so he's like, I'm used to being up like this. But she's happy with it, and he seems happy, but he told her something about if and when he decides to get a job. So I'm thinking, don't the matchmakers kind of say before they hook people up, okay, they have to be at least ready for marriage? So if he's not ready, why did you guys hook him up? Ratings. Anyway, not much happened with Noy and Steve. I think, if they can get the job situation squared away, I think they'll make it. Now, moving on to Lindsay and Mark. Now, Lindsay has a lot of mouth, and she reminds me of one of those old mob wives. She just seems like, even when Mark met with her parents, they were saying like she's got a lot of mouth, and his eyes open like, oh no. So they were telling him, you might have to tell her no, like she needs that. You got to reel her in. That's what her dad was saying. I think that was her dad. And they gave him a Lindsay survival kit. I guess the things he'll need to kind of keep her personality down, because she's a bit much. They gave her a big red button that says no when you push it. So, yeah, she's going to be something to deal with. And fast forwarding, I watched the after party with Keisha Knight Pulliam, Rudy from the Cosby Show, and there Elijah Wan was on there talking about how Lindsay was mad when they got to Puerto Rico. Right when they got off the plane, she was saying, do you speak Spanish? And he's like, a little bit. She said, well, you should speak Spanish when you're in their country. And he's like, hey, just worry about you and your husband. And then she got real mad and said she wanted to fight him. And that's not actually on that didn't make the cut, but that's what Elijah Wan said happened. And his wife, Katina, said, like, who are you talking about fighting? I guess she was willing to go toe to toe with her. But when they got on the bus, they didn't want her on the bus because Elijah Wan was like, we're all adults. You're not going to come on the bus and tell us how to speak to people and what to do. Like, we're all adults. We don't roll like that. So I'm starting to like Elijah Wan. And yeah, I just I thought he talks a lot, but I like his confidence. I'm getting off Mark and Lindsay. I'll talk about that later. But Mark and Lindsay, Mark had to kind of reel her in, and they rode the bus by themselves. They weren't on the bus with the rest of the crew. But Mark seems like she's real happy with what she got. She thinks that they're a great match, and she keeps crying, saying the matchmakers did a perfect job, and she couldn't have asked for anyone better. Kind of like Mirla said, but then changed her tune once she was on the reunion show. We'll see if Lindsay changes her tune. I personally, just me, I couldn't deal with somebody that's just constantly trying to stir it up and real opinionated, causing conflict. That gets old fast. I don't think any man's like, man, I want an opinionated woman. Someone that's going to go total. Well, scratch that. I can't say that. Because Michael who's with Jasmina, said he wanted somebody that would, I guess go back and forth with him. Then he said, I got that. Now I gotta really think, is that what I want? But anyway, back to Mark and Lindsay. Lindsay is going to be difficult for the crew to get along with because Katina already said, like, I can't get along with her. Her personality is just too much. And they get into it next week. I saw in the preview. But Mark comes when all the group is sitting around in Puerto Rico and he apologizes for her. And he's like, hey, let's just all squash this. And they're like, cool, man, don't worry about it. Elijah Wan, who they call old, doesn't even want an apology. He's like, we're good, but you could tell there's going to be some future beefs going on with Lindsay because she's got a lot of mouth, and that seems like the type of personality that these producers look for in these reality shows instead of just giving you like normal people. Guess they figure that's boring. Maybe normal people want to see other normal people. You think of that? Yeah, this is going to be a long season. It's going to be a real long season. Let's go to Jasmina and Michael. Now, Jasmina, they got into a little argument, her and Michael, talking about conflict and how they deal with it. And she talked about agreeing to disagree. And he was just saying things like, you might not get along with certain people because you don't know who they are yet. So getting to know them might cause some conflict. And she's like, that's not how I see things. I don't look at things like that. I don't go around people saying, well, I don't know how they operate, so there could be a conflict. So it wasn't really any big deal like that. But he met with her mother and her sisters, and her mom was scared mainly for her protection. And, they just, they weren't totally comfortable with Michael. But Jasmina seemed to fit in pretty good with Michael's family. And she was telling Michael that, they love me. And he's like, not really. But I just like her. I think she's beautiful. I think she looks classy. I just like her, how she carries herself. And Michael, don't blow this one. They matched you well, bruh. But she seems real cool. She seems classy. She's kind of, I don't say low energy, but she just doesn't seem like someone that's going to be, acting cliche-ish, like, snapping her fingers and rolling her neck. We don't want to see that no more. She seems like a cool, nice young lady. He's kind of quiet. Not sure what he does. Look like the men on this season, at least Elijah Wan and Michael, looks like they stay in the gym. So shout out to them for that, keeping themselves in shape. Let's see, what else happened with Jasmine and Michael? Everybody was, they showed them in bed. I don't think anybody handled their business, consummated the marriage. I don't think that happened yet. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Moving on to Katina and our boy, Elijah Wan. I kind of like this dude. He was laying in bed with Katina and he was telling her that he messed up the other week calling her Katrina, and his mom was saying no R. But anyway, he got it right. He was laying in bed saying, he used to be a player and, he's not that way anymore. He's like, I'm totally done with that. I was in college. I was just having fun. All I cared about was me. Now I'm all about the marriage. You don't have to worry about that. And she was a club girl. So, I don't know if she was out there as Elijah Wan, but she seemed like she might have been out there. And, they're a good looking couple. He's a good looking guy. She's a good looking young lady. And they seem happy. It's just Elijah Wan, like I said, he talks a lot. So that might lead to some arguments because, when you talk a lot, you can say things that people don't agree with, or they just get sick of hearing you talk. So that could cause a fight. But it was just crazy seeing how mad. Well, it wasn't crazy. He was justifiably mad when he was talking about how Lindsay was talking to him about not speaking Spanish when they're in Puerto Rico. And he said on the after party when he met her, he was wearing some kind of outfit and some slippers, and she's like, "Oh, your outfit looks nice, but your slippers look cheap." He's like, "Dude, like, well, I don't even know you. Like, that's not the type of thing you say to somebody." That's what, a backhanded compliment. Yeah, your hair looks nice, but your shoes look tacky. I mean, what kind of? You don't have to say everything that pops in your head. It's like, come on. What if he said that to you? You'd be offended. Like, your lipstick looks nice, but you got chicken legs. I mean, who does that? So she already started off on the wrong foot with Elijah Wan. Maybe she wanted the show to hook her up with him or something. I don't know. But I just like him. And when he met with Katina's friends, he got into it kind of with one of her guy friends, I guess. That she said he's like her protector. And he told the camera that he thinks that Elijah Wan's just on the show for clout or something to that effect. And then Elijah Wan was like, "No, I'm definitely not on here for that." He's like, "I'm a good looking guy. I got no problem with the ladies." And he was telling him, "I'm on the show, to find a wife." He's like, "If you got, a problem with me, call me out." And so the friend of Katina, he didn't like that. You could tell he was trying to bully O, and O wasn't having it. O was like, "No, it's not going down. You're not going to bully me." And I like that, he's not going to sit there and let you try to give him an interrogation. You're just there to kind of get to know him and fill him out, not sit there and try to, it's like Elijah once said, he already had a preconceived notion about him. So then he's putting that on him, he already felt a certain way before they met. You could tell. So, yeah, I didn't think that was really fair. Hold on. Got to sip some water, doing a lot of talking here. And I'm trying to think what happened when Katina met with Elijah Wan's family. What happened with that? Oh yeah, she met with his mom and then his stepmom, and his stepmom gave her a T-shirt or something, and said, "I love your smile." And she said, "Well, I love his smile," so she seemed happy. I think these two will make it. I know something happens further down the road because they show, what happens during the season where he went off on her for talking to a guy on her phone or something, but I'm sure that gets squared away. Might have been a misunderstanding. We'll see what happens. I think they'll make it, though, because he's ready to settle down and she's ready to settle down. Everybody that comes on this show knows how it works. We're in the, 14th season. They know what the show's about. Nobody can come on and act surprised. It's just always funny to me, and I say it over and over. It's funny to me when people come on a show like this where they marry a stranger, which is taking it fast. Then when they get on the show, "Hey, you know what? I take it slow. I like to move real slow." Then why'd you come on the show? The show's Mach 1. You can't move at a snail's pace any longer. That's just, the show's a contradiction to what you want to do. That's just how I see it. Let's see. And when I was watching the after party, Alyssa kept talking about, now I'm moving on back to Alyssa. She was talking to Keisha Knight Pulliam about, she didn't like how that Chris's friends were saying that he can be condescending. And so she's like, "I don't like that. I was in a relationship before like that, and I didn't like it where her boyfriend was condescending and talking down to her." His friend actually said he does it to try to better the person, but like I said, she's looking for anything. So Keisha was like, "Well, do you think that's fair to go off hearsay? You didn't even give him a chance. You're going off what someone else said." And so Keisha Knight started to put her on her. So once again, Alyssa walks off like Johnny did last season. Anytime it gets hot, like when she was talking to Chris, she left the room. Because, she leaves whenever it gets hot. She walked off the after party. Keisha's like, she's more than welcome to come back, like she said, like, "I'm not sorry, I'm doing my job. If you can't handle it, whatever, but you can come back." She walked off when Chris was talking to her. She's just looking for any reason to not like Chris. Like she said, we have different hobbies. Really, you're going to not stay with a man and not make it work because of a hobby? When Chris was asking her before about, did she think this marriage would work. She said, well, let's just stay and, let's make the best of the experience. So it doesn't sound like she's there to make the marriage work. Sounds like she's just there to be seen for the experience and get the check. Didn't sound like I'm going to stay here to try to make the marriage work. There's a lot of games being played on this season, and this time Chris is the victim. Not like Chris and Paige, where that Chris was stirring it up. This Chris is the victim. And I feel sorry for him because, like he said, he feels like he got blindsided because the show hooked him up with the woman that clearly wasn't ready for marriage. I mean, she looks kind of unstable anytime you see her. She's told Chris that she didn't sleep after they talked, and she wanted to talk to him without the mics and the cameras. It's just like a whole lot with her. These people come on a show. I keep saying they marry a stranger. They come on a show, broadcast to the world, and then they want their privacy at the same time. That's a contradiction, an oxymoron. You can't have both. If you want your privacy, marry in private, and we won't know your business. When you put your business out there, it's too late. It's like they say you can't put spilled milk back in a glass or something like that, So once you're in the public eye, you're in the public eye. If you want your privacy, don't go on Trainwreck at First Sight. But if you guys haven't seen it, go check it out. Go check out the after party with Keisha Knight Pulliam. And let me know, do you like her as the new host of what used to be Unfiltered? Did you like Jamie Otis? I like Jamie Otis. I like them both, What do you guys think of the after party? What do you guys think of Trainwreck at First Sight? Let me know. Make sure to subscribe, like, comment, be fearless. Yay.